Alright then, so we are back where we left off, and we left off at a very high peak point, and that was very controversial for most of us. So I got a question for you all. Do you think you can be able to take this exam without completing this tutorial? Said question or answer is probably no or yes if you are well equipped in C# challenges, or basically well equipped in solving real world problems using code. If you have just been solving school related issues like doing your school projects and basically not widening your horizons or not being exposed to real world scenarios that enable you to use what you learn in school, it's going to be hard for you to do assessments like this, because you are going to find out that in the near future, as you're doing it, you're gonna be required to know what is being asked in these assessments, and you're gonna be required to do that on your own as a developer or as a business analyst, because this channel does cover for business analysts as well, in a sense that I want to make sure that I cover for the whole IT community, the information technology community, consisting of the information systems community, which does have business analysts in it and data analysts as well, which is why we have SQL related content in this channel as well. I'll probably link that in the description below so you all can see it and check it out. But let's actually get to the good stuff here. Let's see what we can do about this code here. So we had an issue. The issue we had wasn't a major issue in a sense, because the output we wanted here, look at the question. The input they want us is Noel says Leon, and the output has to be true. And if you input a war at Tarawa, the output has to be true. So regardless of what happens, the output we get has to be always true, right? So the question they have was that have the function string challenge str take the str parameter being passed and return the string true if the parameter is a palindrome. The string is the same as forward as it is backwards. Okay, same as forward as it is backwards. Otherwise, return the string false, and the parameter entered may be a punctuation key that should not affect whether the string is in fact a palindrome. For example, Annie, I vote more cars face Rome to Vienna should return true. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm highlighting that very key point, because it's not basically what the string it returns should not affect whether the string is in fact a palindrome or not. So Annie, I vote for more cars race Rome to Vienna, I kind of view that as, okay, if I make that my input right here, what's gonna happen to my code? I was like, okay, I don't really know the output and input of this thing, but I know that if you change the inputs, you often get a different output. It's kind of why so there's this concept. Let me show you real quick. Windows run, it's gonna be my pad, yeah. So there's this concept. This concept is very old, but it's very effective in code. It's a concept I often teach on my channel, Blind9AI. I often teach it on this channel, but often I teach it using MVC process inputs. You got your process, and you got your output, right? So you got these three things. Usually what happens, to get the output, you gotta basically have the input and process combined in order to give you something, right? So that's just pure mathematics. So in maths terms, you can view it like this. Maths wise, not a maths expert though, but that's how I learned how to basically do this thing. Usually you would do it in like a spider format. In code, how would you represent something like this? So in code, you would say you usually have something called an IPO chart, right? IPO chart is basically input, process, output. So that should first give you a sign. It's okay, now we're dealing with something different, right? So IPO chart is something first you would have. But there's something I like to use. Since in code, you often find things that kind of look like this. Let's say I have like int like num1 or something. You'd see this usually in C#. Int num1 equals to like 9 or 90. right? You see like this. But what is happening here? The int basically represents something called the data type, right? Yeah, we all know data types, right? If you're watching this, it would be weird if you did not know a data type. So this represents what? A variable name. So as this represents a variable name, you know that, okay, this basically can be whatever, but so long as I can remember it, I can use it in somewhere else. And 90 represents what? It represents value, right? So this is programming basics, programming 101 basically. I should actually rename the title of this video, but no, it's still gonna be Coderbyte part 2 assessment. So what do these things bring you is this: whenever you're coding, you're always gonna have, whenever coding, the one formula to use to read and understand both your code and other people's code. Don't even know whether I spelled this right or wrong, but okay. This code is to use below formula. Yeah, I know it's such a boring way for me to just show you this, but okay, someone has to do it. So you have your data type, right? Data type, and then you have what? You have a variable name. After a variable name, what you're gonna have an equal sign. An equal sign assigning to what? Assigning to a value, and the value always has to have a quotation mark here. So you see, you're kind of still doing the same thing as in mathematics, but now you're basically giving this thing values. Kind of like in maths, you would say x is equal to 9 or something. X is equal to 90. You give it a value like that, like y is equal to 60 or something. Yeah, like y might be 60. Okay, you don't actually have to do this in maths. And then maybe z is like an unknown variable or something, and then they like give you a nasty ass formula, like some shit like I don't know, some would say like say x plus y plus z equals to maybe 1,000, and then you basically have to work around what z is going to be equals to, since he'll be 90 and he'll be 60, which is nice. And then you're gonna have what? Okay, we'll just do it like this. You can have like minus 1,000 here. You can have negative z this side. And then basically you would lump up all these together and see what type of answer you get. And then based off that answer, you can now work backwards and find basically z. We all learn this kind of approach to mathematics in terms of algebra and stuff, but it's something that is not really touched upon whenever you go to school. So this should give you negative 850, right, equals to what? Negative z, which just translates to 850 equals to z, basically, in a sense. So this is how most people view it in maths, right? Whenever you're doing maths, you can view it in a format like this, because hey, input, process, output. So we gotta have some input for a process and then an output. It's the same principle they've been drilling to our minds that still applies here in coding. It's just that in coding, it is represented by different figures, simply by data type being whatever you can make it be. You can have ints, you can have your string, you can have your bool, you can have your list, you can have very different types of data types that work in conjunction, and sometimes even a variable can be a data type, a variable name basically. It can be a data type whenever you're dealing with things such as DB sets, database context. It can be basically data types, right? And then variable names is anything you name it. Basically, variable name is you create it on your own, right? Variable name, it's all just for you. You create it. you create it, and it is always going to be you who's going to make it. The value, you're either going to be given the value or you're going to be asked to create value. Let's give her that. You are given or you produce. Produce is instance when you're going to be doing equations. To produce, to give value. You can think of it also as, in a more coding perspective, as methods. You think of it as methods. So that's the whole scenario that's been going on here, and that's why I was changing that and making it into basically what I wanted it to be. So let's see the results we got after we changed this. It probably didn't go well, I'm pretty sure, but like that's the whole concept I had behind changing this little one thing here to start, because of it being the input. That's meaning what it's gonna give you a different output. So let's see what it gave us here. It ran sample test cases, and the output was false, which was wrong. And then so I was like, okay, if the output is false here, let me change the input to this. I'm gonna just change it to this thing. See, now I'm playing around with the input based on what I know, that okay, if you change an input in code, you are bound to get a different output, and that different output might just be closer to what you're trying to get. So most of the time is going to be doing this thing. It is crucial that you are willing to adapt. It is crucial that you are willing to basically go out there and make sure that you are not scared to fail, only for you to succeed in the future. So now look, the test case here was correct, right? So if the test case is correct this side, it means what? It means our code is run effectively, but I don't think it's perfect yet. I'm gonna test it out with the other one most likely. So the test cases ran. So clear the log again, and then I rerun the sample test cases just to make sure that it works, because you can get it right the first time, but then again it doesn't work when they see it, which is why you gotta make sure you run them out. See, the first output was wrong. So will the code run okay? Let's see. It's false. So the code is wrong, but the test cases are correct, or at least half of the test cases are correct. And I was like, okay, if half of them are correct, then I just gotta get the other one in there, right, just to fill in the gap. Then I was like, okay, so I had made a slight error in the beginning of my code as I was doing it. Most likely here I should have basically put in another one here. Let's see what I did. Maybe I did a whole other U-turn on it, I don't know, because in the moment it kind of gets like that too. So speculating for quite some time. Yeah, notice how when I'm looking at it again now, as I'm reviewing it on my own, it actually seems a whole lot simpler. So I think I'm trying to test case again. I'm trying to see it's okay. What is it gonna do? How is it gonna respond in the output here? Because that's how also you can get to cheat code. You can get to like run around the edges and see it's okay. This works, this doesn't work. Why is this working? Why is that not working? Basically trying to get what you want. Because look again here what I'm doing. The outputs here are false, wrong. Expected input is true. Input is Leon. Output is true, correct, okay. Let's see how it goes. So what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do? And then I'm gonna copy and paste like the whole line of code, which would be good. Let's see what I do. Here, suspense is killing me. Yeah, I think I'm copying. Yeah, I made an issue. Okay, Control Z. Let's see. I'm trying to see is this thing in the right class, because you kind of have to be precise so it's okay. This thing is the right in between these curly braces, meaning that it's gonna be part of the input. because the output is coming way over here. Console.writeLine string challenge.console.readline. So this thing just reads out the whole basically public static string method up here. It reads it up and then it spits it down here. It's basically a static void method that is made. So let's see what I do here. Checking this. I changed it to true just to see. Cleared my log. Run test cases. You know, test cases, why I love them run so much. If the test cases work, even if the code doesn't work, the fact that it returns the test cases, voila, got the correct answer. So you see, I tried something different than what I thought I was gonna do right now. Why was that? I probably don't know, but in the moment, as I said, it does feel different. This is something you gotta tap into on your own. You gotta try to get into it on your own. Like, okay, right now I'm developing. As you're a developer, you must basically surrender yourself to the fact that, okay, I might be able to make something out of nothing. The most important thing about you being a developer is the fact that you can make something out of nothing. If you're a developer that does not have that type of skill set, it's gonna be difficult for you to survive in the industry, because most people in this industry are using that type of skill sets and they like it being used like that too. So I'm not gonna leave you in parting words right now, because I did not show you like the first part of it all. I only showed you like the last 3 solutions, and this was like the 4th solution. So we're gonna go back to the page, and then once you see how it runs up here, I'm gonna show you again like all 4 solutions solved, and then you're gonna see exactly where it goes from here, because the series is still gonna continue. We are still gonna upload videos. Mostly 1 video per month will be good for our audience retention, as we are all very busy. So we would like to keep it to like 1 video per month and not really try to rush all of you into it. Just nice and easy. So the first one is searching challenge, right? So searching challenge, you can actually even go look it up in like Coderbyte assessments. You can go look it up and you're gonna see that, okay, this is the searching challenge, is what they do. But for you to see here, it is just to know these are the type of challenges they asked you, and I completed all of them. They sent me a link to do like the part 2. So not necessarily the part 2, yeah, the part 2 challenge. Yeah, I think somebody said that they're gonna have 4 challenges in all. Then a technical interview is supposedly one of them. So if I'm at the 2nd stage, if I pass the 2nd stage, I go obviously to the 3rd stage, which would obviously be difficult because Cybergate is a company based in Joburg. I'm thinking that their assessment might be physical, so it might be hard for me to be able to get that type of information for you all. But this is what I got for you. Hope you use it responsibly, please. Please use it responsibly, and make sure you try to understand exactly the concept that is being asked here, because if you want to work, if you want to like get into the world of work, you're gonna have to like do things like this. You're gonna have to do challenges like this, get used to them, do them as if they were your classwork, basically. So with that in mind, we're gonna go to the searching challenge as soon as I'm done here. I don't know whether I have it in this video or not. Yeah, that's the thing about using these things. Are you talking? Nice. So right now I'm showing you like all the Cybergate thing. Just checking, see, did I do everything like accordingly? No wrong stuff, no anything. And look at the time left I got here, like 46 minutes I had left, which was actually a lot. So I was aiming for an hour, but hey, the recording kind of snapped me. I could have possibly got done in 30 minutes if I was actually legit about it. But this is what I kind of have for you guys. I hope you do like it. Another thing, we're opening a bronze membership. It is also linked in the description below. So this bronze membership is basically to help people who want to get into code, whether you're a varsity student, whether you're somebody who doesn't go to school, you're a professional, basically anybody. If you're willing to dedicate your time and your efforts to coding, we are willing to help you. And the best thing, this product's free of charge. We don't charge you for anything. You get free enrollment. You're gonna see all the free products. You get posts every single week on what you should be aware of the things you should study, and you get a personalized plan just for you to see, okay, this is what you like to study and study and study. And the best part is, we don't make the plan for you. We give you the material. You choose the plan for yourself. And it's all just a commitment attitude from you, and when you're done, you will get your certificates and you will be feeling posh. So look, the membership is free. I'm hoping to maintain it free for as long as possible, because I want to make sure that this opportunity is accessible to everybody. This is me showing you the Coderbyte assessment challenge. So in this membership, you're going to be exposed to a website like this, where you would see basically solutions and you see coding practices on real problems. Why is this necessary? This is necessary because you have to be able to get a job. Basically, you need to be exposed to real world solutions, because companies are solving real world problems, kind of like us by 9AI. We're solving our real world problems. Students are having an issue when it comes to coding. So this is just a tree constructor solution. I was just showing you how it looks. So you see, if you're practicing this thing, and you have practiced enough to the point where you can go back, and when you go to your test, you go into the test and you're good. You're like, okay, now I can actually study. I can actually study something for real that I know might possibly come on the questions, because it might not just be this, it might be something else, it might be another thing. But thank you very much for watching this video. On part 3, I'm gonna show you all the searching challenge, and right after that, I'm gonna show you all basically how the part 2 went, because I wrote it, I've recorded it. You're gonna see it on the part 3. So episode 3 is gonna come out, I don't know when, but probably in February. Yeah, I'm planning to launch it in February. I was talking with the guys, so it's gonna be launched in February. So for now, stay tuned to this one. I hope this is enough for you guys who want to get started, because Cybergate is a company that doesn't really stop hiring. Their graduates program is still open up until January. So if you have this video and you have my previous video on part 1, which I will link in the description below, I will happily make sure that you guys get it, and I will be glad to help. Also, we cover personalized tutorials, not personalized, but I would say one-on-one tutorials. It is linked in our website. Website is linked in the channel page. You can see it on the channel page as you go there. Also linked in this video is